Why is it difficult to debate with believers? I share some of the same attitudes as Professor Richard Dawkins. That is, by agreeing to debate with a creationist, you give them validation. With all due respect, the scientific and atheist communities have already engaged in countless discussions. I'm confused why they're even called debates. Here's why. First, faith is believing in something without proof or evidence. I could stop there. However, I'm going to go in a little more detail. During my process of leaving religion, I watched numerous arguments with renowned individuals from both sides, each considered to be at the top of their career. A couple of things I observed. First, it's common to have an atheist that was raised in religion, then to leave their faith and become a free thinker. For instance, Richard Dawkins, Christopher Hitchens. They have knowledge of both worlds versus a creationist that has never left their faith. In this case, it's basically a factor of knowledge gained through actual experience. Whereas a Christian that never questioned their faith can only argue one side. It's all they know. They live in a very myopic world. Religion can impede people from thinking because they believe all the answers are in one antiquated book. The reality is the world is just not that simple. According to extensive research by a professor, Myron Zuckerman, he quantified that religious people are less intelligent than atheists. Now, I realize this is very subjective, but here's my response to this article. First, we're all born with the same capacity to learn. Second, we all have the right to seek and obtain non-biased knowledge. However, the church and the dogma it preaches can interfere with this right to seek an education in fear of it contradicting their beliefs. So religion indoctrinates people into believing a way of life that is congruent for their political and financial gains. Some people have a better ability to traverse between their faith and perhaps a career that is science-based, while most they get lost in a convoluted life of not being fully grounded to reality. I'm fortunate that now I have experience in both worlds. I understand how religion can alter the lens, the filter in which we see the world through. So, speaking from experience, after letting go of dogma, letting go of the control of a God, the aperture of my mind has just greatly expanded. I can't emphasize that enough. A quote from Christopher Hitchens: "Take the risk of thinking for yourself. Much more happiness, truth, beauty, and wisdom will come to you that way." And I find that to be very true. Speaking as a free thinker, we're not trying to insult or intimidate someone's faith. Our agenda is to educate and to cordially challenge one's framework of beliefs, whereas the paradigm of religion is oftentimes predicated on regulating people out of fear, preaching doctrine that benefits their political curriculum. My challenge would be for the church to encourage people to start asking the difficult questions, followed by obtaining their answers from resources other than the Bible. So if the answers they achieve coincide with what the Bible says, then the church would have nothing to fear. Not only that, but it would reconfirm that what is being preached is true. In closing, I've been on both sides of the fence. I understand how intimidating it can be to break free. Once again, take the risk of thinking for yourself. You don't have anything to lose, but you have a lot to gain, and that's your freedom. I welcome your input. Please subscribe. My name is Dave, and thanks for watching my commentary.